A fascinating topic today. I'm talking about the psychological link between extreme narcissism, psychopathy, and terrorism, anti-Semitism, how there's a link psychologically between all these extreme behaviors. Take a look on the other side, please. So I see my work as a psychological wake-up call for Massachusetts, the United States, and the world. Because people do not yet see the linkage, the psychological linkage between extreme narcissism, this intense selfishness and harmful behavior, psychopathy, and things like anti-Semitism, even things like, the terrorism that goes on in the world, even the extreme, extraordinary actions like Hamas, that there's a psychological linkage among these elements that I want to talk about today. I also want to, I want to share that. I want to talk about why there's a need for a wake-up call, and then I want to talk about why our coaching, training, and mediation, the gentle genius coaching, is a necessary element in today's world. So, psychologically, people are not aware that we're either people who are kind of geared towards doing what's right, doing good things, or there's this psychological element of people who want to tear other people down. And most of us, clearly to me, would be in the former. Good people who want to do well, who go about their job, their business. Some have aspirations, some are just doing their job, but most people want to do well. However, a small segment of society, has this psychopathy. Then psychopathy, extreme narcissism, psychopathic behavior is just so selfish, so intense, and essentially is drawing energy from other people in a harmful way. And people don't understand that. And so, to me, when I see mass shootings, when I see, anti-Semitic acts, when I see any, protest that, causes violence and harms other people, there's a psychological germ that's related across all these things. Now, some of you may know I brought, understandings of emotional abuse and stopping emotional distress and developing this understanding of the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. And what I'm getting at is that by understanding emotional abuse, we start to understand the psychology. We don't have this luxury anymore of just tolerating any viewpoint. There are people with that set intentions to harm other people. And it goes back to a psychology. It goes back to extreme narcissistic, psychopathic behavior. And it can be present in lots of places, in universities, schools, courts. It's in society, and few people have it. But when we have, and when we see it, we have to understand it and adjust our psychological intentions to understand. There's people who will do harm to other people, often under the guise of, I'm just doing my job, or I'm not doing anything, kind of wolves in sheep's clothing, as the old expression goes. So I want people to understand that in my work in advancing understanding emotional distress, emotional abuse, and the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress, I'm really getting at also some broader societal issues. What is the psychology of those who will harm? What is the psychology of those who will disrupt, sensibility, safety for others? And there is this linkage that goes across. It's a psychology of those with this extraordinary selfishness who will harm others and have this capacity, what people have to understand too, to flip situations. So they, being the ones doing the harm, are making their victim, the person victimized, look like a fool or looking like they're an unnecessary part of society. And nothing could be further from the truth. So I think generally I want to make this point of this linkage that psychologically we have to understand this psychopathic energy of people who will suck the energy out of others, turn situations around, and really harm and disrupt society. And then, so I want to, and I'm spreading that in a more general wake-up call to America, that our institutions, political, legal, financial, social, have to understand this. And the remedy, as I like to say, is always in the purpose, is in the sense of finding your goodness, which is what our training, coaching, and mediation does, and forging your purpose. The purpose, because I see this psychopathy as a spiritual virus, and I'm saying the vaccine, the remedy, the way to navigate through what people have to do. I'm talking about companies, families, and individuals. What you need to do is to forge your purpose, because it gives you that outer, psychological armor to fend off attacks, because they're going to come, and to navigate your way through challenging situations. This is what our work does. This is what we help you do to understand the psychology and elevate you. We identify your goodness, and then we help you forge that purpose, and so that you're shining a light more into the world, okay? And that you're doing it with a psychological armor. You're aware of the psychological warfare that's going on today, and you can be a societal champion. You can be one who can help, I'm talking about companies, families, and individuals. You can be ones who can protect and elevate society. So take a look at my website, theworldsgenius.com, and get the look. Consider, please, the coaching, training, and mediation, because good people, good companies, good families, good individuals need this work. It is the psychological armor you need to protect yourself in this, with this psychopathic, extreme narcissistic energy that exists in society.